Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at multiplying decimals. So to start off with then, we're going to look at where we're multiplying a decimal by a whole number, in this instance 5 times 0.7. Now what we want to do is to make this question as easy as possible for ourselves, so we're going to use our powers of 10 to help us manipulate 0.7. So I'm going to times this by 10, which would now make this sum the number 5 times 7, which using my 5 times table or my 7 times table gives me 35 as an answer. However, this sum is out of balance at the moment because I've made the 0.7 10 times bigger in order to make my sum easier to work out. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So if we now divide by 10, these two values balance each other out. So 35 divided by 10 gives me 3.5. So therefore my answer is 3.5 in this instance. Now a good little checker at the end after you've done this is that there were, and I'll underline these in red, one decimal place in my value in my question, and there is one decimal place in my answer. Now that is a pattern we all notice throughout this video, but it's important you understand this process of multiplying the number by 10, then divided by 10, and that is our check to make sure that we've got a reasonable answer. So this time, a slight variation of the question, we have two decimals multiplying by each other, so we want to make them whole numbers to make the sum easier to compute. So this time we have to multiply both numbers by 10, which will give me 6 times 3, which is 18. And again, because we have multiplied by 10 once and then by 10 again, we need to ensure that the question is in balance. So we can divide by 10, which would balance out this 10 to give me 1.8, and then divide by 10 and again, which will give me 0.18. Now, again, notice that that relationship is holding where we have 2 places in the question, and there are 2 places in the answer. So this time we've got 0.9 times 0.12. So to make 0.9 a whole number, I'm going to multiply by 10. But this time I've got to multiply 0.12 by 100 because there are 2 decimal places. So to make that a whole number, we need to multiply by 100. This would give me 9 times 12. 9 times 12 is 108. And again, we've got to make sure the question is in balance. So we're going to divide by 10 to give me 10.8. Then we're going to divide by 100 to give me 0.108. Or here we could have divided by 1000 because we've divided by 10 and then by 100, which is the same as divided by 1000. So my answer here would be 0.108. And again, we have 1, 2, 3 decimal places in my question, 1, 2, 3 decimal places in my answer. Okay, and finally a final example. This time we've got to multiply both numbers by 100. 0.04 times by 100 is going to give me 4, and 0.36 times by 100 is going to give me 36. 4 times 36. Now, if I don't know how to do that in my head, on the side of your page in the exam, use your grid method. So 4 times 30 gives me 120. 4 times 6 is 24. So I'm going to get 144. And again, this time I've got to divide by 100 to give me 1.44. And then divide by 100 again. Now, that means it shifts 2 places to the right, remember, 0.0144. So my answer here is 0.0144. And we use our little check that I've got 2 places in that number, 2 places in that number, so 4 in the question altogether. And I have 4 decimal places in the answer. So I'm satisfied that this answer is correct.